Welcome to Timeless Chronicles, 14 historical mysteries that we'd really like answers to. What happened to the crew of the ghost ship Mary Celeste? The Mary Celeste departed New York City on November 5, 1872. The ship was bound for Genoa and had 10 people on board. Captain Benjamin Briggs and his 7 crewmen were joined by Briggs's wife and daughter. Who built Teotihuacan, and why was it abandoned? Before the arrival of Spanish colonizers in the 16th century, Mesoamerica brimmed with complex civilizations. But scholars still don't know everything about these cultures. Among the most mysterious, Teotihuacan, the ruins of an impressive city built by unknown people. Why was Nefertiti erased from history? Queen Nefertiti of Egypt is remembered for her beauty and power, especially after her bust was discovered in 1912. But much of her life remains unknown. What historians usually agree on is that Nefertiti was married to Pharaoh Amenhotep IV, who later assumed the name Akhenaten, and evidence suggests that theirs was an affectionate, loving relationship. Where did the Amber Room go? World War II wasn't kind to the art world. Countless works of art were looted, went missing, or were destroyed. Among them, an entire room. The so-called Amber Room, an 18th century room that was installed in Russia's Catherine Palace, hasn't been seen since the war. Heralded as an 18th century wonder of the world, the room was decked out. Where is Cleopatra's tomb? Cleopatra VII of Egypt is one of the most storied figures of the ancient world. Her passing in 30 BCE, perhaps by her own hand, ended her kingdom's autonomy and chained Egypt to the Roman Empire. Where is Genghis Khan buried? Scholars don't know much about Genghis Khan's passing in 1227. Why? He wanted it to remain a secret, likely so as not to give the perception that Mongol power had weakened with his loss. He also wanted to keep the location of his burial a secret. What happened to the colonists of Roanoke Island? It's one of the enduring mysteries of the early history of the United States of America. What happened to the people who were colonizing Roanoke Island? Located in present-day North Carolina, Roanoke Island has been remembered since the 1830s as the Lost Colony. Sir Walter Raleigh established it in 1585, intending it to become the first English settler colony in North America. Around 120 people reached the island 2 years later. What was the language of the ancient Indus Valley? The deciphering of the Rosetta Stone in the early 19th century was a boon for scholars of ancient Egypt. The stone is inscribed with a decree in 3 writing systems, Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian hieroglyphs, that enabled scholars to finally read hieroglyphs, which weren't interpretable in the modern world. Who did the alleged Mask of Agamemnon belong to? In 1876, archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann made a rare discovery, a collection of 5 ancient funeral masks made out of gold. They still covered ancient remains. Schliemann, who found the masks in the ancient Greek site of Mycenae, declared, "I have gazed upon the face of Agamemnon," suggesting that the most impressive mask covered the legendary Mycenaean king of the Trojan War. How did a Viking coin end up in Maine? It's no secret that the Vikings reached the Americas centuries before Christopher Columbus did. They attempted to colonize Greenland from the late 900s. What did Anne Boleyn really look like? Because she was Queen of England from 1533 to 1536, Anne Boleyn's life is better recorded than the lives of many of her subjects. Still, questions about her life have endured for centuries. Among them, what did she actually look like? Who is actually depicted in Van Gogh's self-portrait? Over the course of his career, Vincent van Gogh is believed to have created more than 30 self-portraits. But a recent discovery suggests that not every self-portrait depicts the artist. Who built the mysterious Georgia Guidestones, and why? A mysterious stone monument stands in Elberton, GA. The monument consists of a series of stones that amount to a modern, or maybe a post-apocalyptic, 10 Commandments written in 8 languages. The inscriptions caution humanity to act sensibly, not overpopulate the earth, and live in harmony with nature, among other recommendations. Is there actually an unknown creature in Lake Champlain? America's version to the folklore of Loch Ness's Nessie is Lake Champlain's Champ, an off-sited serpentine monster that supposedly resides in upstate New York.